I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make royal icing so that your Christmas cookies look like $1,000,000. All right, we're going to make royal icing, which is the kind of icing that you use on cookies when you want to make sure that it kind of hardens a little bit and stays nice and pretty for a couple days. That's royal icing. And it's so easy. There's only 3 ingredients to it. In the bowl of the food processor, I've got 4 egg whites. And before you all start freaking out, yes, you have to have raw egg whites to make royal icing, but you can also get pasteurized eggs now in almost every grocery store. If I can find pasteurized eggs in my little tiny town, then, you know, you can get them everywhere. Your other alternative is if you've got a great local farm and they're raising their own chickens and you know where those eggs come from, then I would almost guarantee those are going to be pretty safe too. But if you're worried about it, use pasteurized eggs, okay? There, easy, problem solved. So 4 egg whites, and I've got a teaspoon of vanilla, and there's not a whole lot to see in there, Bladen. All I'm going to do, and I'm not going to make you listen to my blender, all I'm going to do is run this for 5 to 6 minutes or so. It's going to get nice and stiff, right? And I'll show you what that looks like when it hits that point. So we let our blender thingy go until we got what's called stiff peaks. And what that means is that when you have peaks in your egg whites, it'll hold its shape. And the egg whites themselves are nice and glossy. That's when you know they're ready to go, okay? So that goes back in there. And 4 cups powdered sugar, right in there. Everybody in. Now we're gonna throw the lid of the, whatever that thing's called, blender. We're gonna throw the lid back on and wait till it's fully incorporated. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, so we beat up our powdered sugar, and this is what we end up with. Well, I can't get it out of there. It's like pulling it out of a quicksand. Get that off the beaters. Now, what you could do, if you wanted to, is put some food coloring in here. If you want to turn it colors, that's fine. You can put it in a pastry bag too if you want to use tips and get fancy with your designs. If y'all have watched any of my videos, you know I'm not really about the fancy. We're lucky in my house if we kind of gotta get the gingerbread men and the icing made to begin with. So I don't have a clue where my funnel is, so I'm hoping I'm not about to make a big old mess. What I have are these nice flimsy bottles. There we go. And I'm going to treat these as my icing bags, because all I'm going to do is put a few little touches on my little gingerbread men and trees and stockings and stuff. So I'm not going to do anything that takes any kind of skill whatsoever as a decorator, because I have no skill whatsoever as a decorator, and that's the wrong channel if that's what you're after. You don't want to see my stuff. But I am gonna, well, good thing is it's nice and thick. I know I'm about to make a mess. Ooh, did you see the nearer version of that? That was never gonna happen again in my life. See, I immediately turned around and blew it. All right, that's enough of that. Okay, what, you getting a close-up on the mess I made?
Mm-hmm, it's funny.
Thanks, Bladen. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay. The reason I said I like these nice flimsy bottles, see, it's going to be easy to, if you've got a nice stiff bottle, it won't work. So let's see, let's come over here, and when I made the gingerbread men, I put holes in the top so that I was able to string ornament hangers through. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Now here's the deal. You can make these a day or 2 before Christmas. You can hide them, and that gives the icing time to get nice and stiff, and then you can hang them on the tree, and the kids get up in the morning and they're like, ooh, Christmas. Because in my house, if you put them on the tree too soon, all the little kids will come by and just lick the frosting off, and you'll end up with a very sad, soggy little gingerbread man standing there, or the dog will get to the ones that are in the bottom of the tree, and the cat will knock off the ones from the top and feed them to the dog. Don't do that. Just keep them in a covered container where they're going to be airtight. and then surprise everybody all at once. Okay, don't. Not that any of those things ever happened in my house. Because, of course, my children are perfect. They didn't, I don't think they saw your thumbs up there, Bladen. Yeah. So they would never do anything like I just described. So, what I'm doing now is making my little bug-eyed gingerbread people. But you see how nice and workable this frosting is? I really like that part. It makes even somebody like me who cannot decorate look like you can kind of pull something off. So let's give him some socks. I'm going to show you another trick here in just a second, because you can do this with sugar cookies too. Sugar cookies are really where, like if you want to get colorful, sugar cookies are where this can really shine for colors. All right, now, this is the icing that lets you do the fill. You know what I'm talking about? I'll show you. So, if you want to fill in a cookie, make yourself an outline. And I know mine aren't straight. I don't care. Blade, I don't want to hear it. And you know, this was an entire batch of gingerbread guys. And then my brother came in and my kids came in. And the next thing I knew, I had a quarter of a batch of gingerbread guys. So give yourself an outline, okay? And then just slowly take your little icing and fill it in. And you see how the icing up here at the top has already smoothed itself out? That makes you look like you know something about what you're doing, even if you don't, like me. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, those are so pretty and you got them so smooth. Well, you don't have to get them smooth. The icing does it for you. So this is a trick I really, really like. Now, once I get all these guys decorated and dotted and fixed, and their ornament hangers. Oh, I tell you, a trick with the ornament hangers, get the really super cheap flimsy ones, because the good ones are harder to work with a cookie dough, and sometimes if your hole kind of closed up, see like on that one, it kind of closed up a little too much. The super cheap one is thin, it'll punch right through that, but the good expensive one will just break the top off your cookie, okay? Not that I ever did that. So here we go. See? Okay. Honestly, that's it. I can sit here and decorate trees, but there's not a whole lot more information I can give you. Royal icing. Egg whites, a little vanilla, powdered sugar. Whip the fire out of it. Get yourself a nice cheap little bottle to use to decorate. And your cookies are going to be cute and they're going to taste like $1,000,000. Okay? So if you've liked this video, find me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Pinterest. I have a brand new fan support page over on Patreon, which helps me out a ton. You gotta go over here and check it out. And my new cookbook, Happier Holidays, How to Eat, Drink, and Stay Merry, is now live on Amazon in the Kindle store. So run over there and check that out. It's got all kinds of tips and tricks and advice to make your holiday a lot smoother. So there you go, how to make royal icing.